Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Gwent, and today we're going to be playing the new Battle Rush seasonal event, which is an alternate game mode in which we have just 8 seconds to take our turn, so we have to play extremely quickly. So for our deck, we have something very simple, but extremely effective. Let's give it a look. So because we have so little time to take our turn in this Battle Rush seasonal event, we want to make sure that our deck plays as simply as possible, minimizing the number of clicks so that we don't miss out on using any abilities or misplay because we have a bunch of different combos that we're trying to trigger. So with that in mind, today we are going to be playing a Thrive Force of Nature Monsters deck. And that is just about as simple as it gets, because we'll start by playing our weakest Thrive units, then slowly build ourselves up, getting boosted along the way. So that means very little time that we have to spend strategizing and very few clicks when we play our cards. And that's really all there is to it, besides a few cards that are for a specific situation, so we'll flip through the deck here to show you what else we have. But of course, as always, I'll leave the deck list and deck link in the description, so you have everything you need right there if you want to try this out for yourself. So there's a look at the deck, and because Thrive is just about the only thing that we are looking to do, it is very simple to play, so I would say if you are new to this seasonal event, this is a great deck to get started. But how good is it? Let's play a couple matches to see. Alright, so going into Nilfgaard here, and they'll go first. Okay, and we have a lot of little Thrives. Let's maybe dump one of the Nekkers. And other than that, maybe Bruxa as well. We don't want 2 Wild Hunt Riders, though. Masquerade Ball in round 1 is a little surprising. Would have thought you'd save that for round 3, but anyway, let's start off with our little Thrives. And especially with double Nekkers and double Endrega Larva, it's going to be hard for them to do too much damage with that poison, because we're going fairly wide here. So yeah, they will, of course, immediately trigger this, but I would argue that's probably too early to go triggering Masquerade Ball. I mean, sure. You do get to shut down one of our engines, yes, but at the same time, you're not waiting to see if we have something bigger and more important to get rid of. Could even Beast, which, now that they have a 10-point Thirsty Dame, is definitely capable of getting boosted a lot. It's just that that would immediately become the target of their poison, and yeah, they have more of it. So that's not even with Masquerade Ball. So, in that case, I think we don't go Beast here. Let's go with a Katakan. And we'd like to reach Sabbath to trigger the Witch Apprentice's boosting, but just one of them is not enough. 2 of them is the perfect amount. See, Dandelion is just a way for them to get another Aristocrat out there with their second card that they play here. It isn't. Oh, well that's unfortunate. Fortunately, we do have armor, though, so it's not nearly as bad as it might have otherwise been. I think we don't have to... Well, alright, let's go Golyat. Of course, does also become a potential target for that poison, because they can actually benefit significantly from taking him out, but I also want to try to set up Ozzrel in round 2 or round 3 with a big unit to consume, and Golyat would be perhaps the top target for that. Yeah, now he's obviously going down almost immediately here. Let's go now with the Beast. Or actually, let's go with the Witch Apprentice now that we do have Sabbath. And yeah, Cadaverin will get rid of Golyat here. And let's just do a quick check. We're on 21 power in our melee row at the moment, which means another Witch Apprentice is enough to trigger Sabbath. But, tell you what, I think we might want to make this a relatively short round, because of course they committed Masquerade Ball, so we know they don't have that anymore, and that is, of course, their biggest, highest provision cost card. Alright, so let's get rid of one of our Wild Hunt Riders. That was definitely something that went wrong with our round 1 hand. Then, Phooca is great, but do we want 2 of them? That might be kind of hard to trigger all the Thrives with that. Okay, it looks like they may be thinking about playing here. They are. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That makes Pugo pretty terrible. So, in that case, I mean, we're probably going Bruxa first here as our lowest Thrive. Okay, and Siri Dash is a problem because we do not have a way of doing anything to get rid of her, then they're going to play a full power version. Now this is just rubbing it in our face at this point. Let's go with the Beast, because at least at this stage, both of them having a very strong unit, we can certainly get this boosted. Alright, now they're going to poison the Beast, probably. And I think we have to assume that they do have enough poison to actually remove him. So in that case, I mean, we're just going down the Thrive route here, I think. So Werecat is our lowest Thrive, then it'll be Phooca after that. Yeah, they're going to steal our leader ability, in fact. Which does make for a very aggressive play here. Let's see, now let's go Phooca, which will trigger 1 Thrive. Getting Sabbath is going to be a little tough, assuming that they are going to actually get rid of the Beast soon with another round of poison, which is exactly what they do here. Okay, and, well, that does make matters rather difficult at the moment. I suppose we go Witch Apprentice, because we don't have many other options here. It does trigger a couple of Thrives. Pugo is actually detrimental to play. Now they're going to lock... I mean, we actually couldn't really trigger that, so that's probably fine. So now we're going to need to go Ozzrel here. Try to keep pace, but that's going to be tough. So we go here, and we consume Golyat. And we probably do need to go with our leader ability as well. I wanted to put him in the melee row, but so be it. At this rate, we would have Sabbath in that range row. So it did actually become somewhat significant that they made a point of locking that Witch Apprentice. Alright, they passed. And so we have successfully fended off the bleed attempt. Okay, we drew back into our second Wild Hunt Rider, so we definitely need to get rid of that. And then Pugo, like I said, at this point, pretty terrible. So we definitely need to dump you. Alright, and since we are going first here, we have guaranteed dominance. Let's use Wild Hunt Rider here. Then we're going to want to get the Endrega Larva down. So some poison, probably fine. I mean, they do seem to have a lot of poison, for sure. Question here, I think, is largely going to be, when do we play Yghern? Because, of course, ideally we would play him last to trigger all of our Thrives. However, if we do that, then he's not going to gain any armor. He's going to immediately get destroyed. That does us no good. So in that case, the question is, how much damage do we think they have? I think we might go Apiarian Phantom last in that case, or that's fine if you want to go with Mill. Not really sure why you're doing that. So I think we get you down, and take your pick. I guess the Rot Tosser. Then we'll go Yghern, and then we'll go Apiarian Phantom. We'll probably just use its order immediately. And we're just hoping they don't have any damage at all to destroy Yghern. They definitely have poison. That much we know. Alright, so it's Yghern now. And I think we want to make sure that we play it in this row, away from the poison unit, because we saw they had a Devil's Puffball before, and that might be their intention for how they get rid of that Wild Hunt Rider, and that would, of course, destroy Yghern if they are to go that route. No, it's Fangs the Empire. Uh-oh. Looks like they're targeting Yghern. Do they have another poison? I certainly hope not. Okay, so now Apiarian Phantom, and because we had to play you last, that means we're just immediately using that ability. And so at this rate, even if you can destroy Yghern, we may have enough of a lead here that we can still take the victory, but that remains to be seen. It is poison, but how do the numbers line up here? Yes, we do still have enough to take the win. Alright, going against Skellige here. And we'll go first. Okay, so 2 Wild Hunt Riders, that's definitely not good. And 2 Bruxa, I don't really think we want that either. Let's dump one of them. Ozzrel could work with Yghern for sure. I think we'd probably stick with this, to tell you the truth. And where did our Wild Hunt Rider go? Let's lead off with you, since we have guaranteed dominance here. Alright, are they going Alchemy? They might be. I mean, they have Martyrdom for their leader ability, Battle Trance. So let's go Nekker's next. Hey, oh, discard. Sure. I mean, I suppose it can work with any of a number of other archetypes. So that may not tell us too much here. Now let's go Endrega Larva. Okay, another Crow Clan creature, so they do of course have Bonded, so that does make them a fair bit more powerful. I think let's skip the Bruxa and go straight to the Phooca here, because I'm not sure this is going to be a long enough round for us to play all of these cards. Okay, and yeah, here comes the Alchemy. It's almost like a mini scenario. They're getting all their Crow Clan creatures out there, then they lead off, spawn in the crows. Okay, but anyways, we could now go with the Beast. That is not out of the question. Let's do that, because they do have some 6-power units, and I imagine Crow Clan creatures are going to get bigger still. Alright, then Golden Froth is also Alchemy, and it does boost their strongest units. Let's go with Yghern here. I imagine this might be our last card. Let's use Crystal Skull in that case. And, I'm just hoping they don't have enough damage to remove its armor, because, well, they are Skellige. So that is certainly possible. And it may be with Ermion as well. If they have Giga Scorpion Decoction, they can definitely make it happen. That is exactly what it is. Now, we could use Ozzrel to immediately consume Yghern and get a bunch of power from that. I mean, I guess we do. It is something that I would have preferred to have saved for round 3, for sure. But it does trigger all of our Thrives out here. It does give us another big unit, so that we can guarantee Beast keeps on getting boosted. But I think that is almost certainly the last card that we want to play. Okay, and they do pass, so that's good. We did not want to go any longer than that in round 1. Okay, so we got Caranthir, another Endrega Larva, and another Nekker, so we've got some good low-end Thrives. Let's stump the Bruxa, and Speartip, I mean, is a good finisher, sure. Not really sure we have the cards that go with Caranthir at the moment. We would have loved the Beast to go with that. But we are a card down here, so I think we definitely dry pass at the moment. Alright, and they're going to use Fall Blood Priest as their throwaway. Okay, and we drew back into the Bruxa. I think we probably want to dump that. Apiarian Phantom is a potential target for Caranthir. I think that could be worth doing. And then, do we have enough to make Witch Apprentice work with our leader ability and Old Speartip? Probably. Okay, so more discard. And this time it's more far that they're getting out there. So let's lead off with our Thrive. Our lowest end Thrive, of course. Next up, Endrega Larva. Okay, and here is the scenario. So I was talking about how in round 1 it was almost like they created their own unofficial version of the scenario because they played more or less all the cards you would normally play with it. And, well, that will give them a lot of boosting. So that means that something like Geralt Yrden will definitely be helpful. Oh, we could even, probably should, Heatwave that scenario if they don't trigger the next round on this turn here. They don't. So yeah, let's do that. Let's Heatwave it. And I like how they put their cards that are all going to get boosted in the same row. So, yeah, get rid of the scenario. Okay, and they're going to bring back... It's probably going to be another Preacher. Oh, no, actually, Fall of the Priest. It does work well with the Dragon Turtle. That's right, but, again, they're just loading up on that range row there, so I'm fine with that. Let's go... I mean... Yes, we'll deal damage to it with the Werecat, but, since we're ultimately planning on resetting it with Yrden, that doesn't actually do us that much good. Okay, now here comes their defender. I'm not sure that matters too much, because Yrden, of course, doesn't need a target, and I don't really think much else does, other than potentially the Phantom. Let's do that now, though. Let's go Caranthir to create a copy of it. Might have even been worth going with the Witch Apprentice, to tell you the truth, now that I think of it. We are not yet at Sabbath, but we will be very soon. That probably means either this is next or the Apiarian Phantom. It's actually worth more points per turn, though. Yeah, so... Oh, my goodness. Yeah, just play them all in the range row. I love it. Keep on doing it. So, let's go... That. And we are loading up in that melee row. We should now have Sabbath. Okay. Well, that's not really a card you want to play from your hand, but sure. You have a pretty big lead at the moment, yes, but we're going to start triggering a lot. I mean, a lot of boosting quite soon. So next turn we'll want to go Probably Force of Nature and Old Speartip. I mean, technically, we could wait until our last turn to play that. But in the interest of not rushing ourselves too much and potentially accidentally Yrdening ourselves, let's not bring it down to that. So now let's go Old Speartip. That'll trigger a bunch of Thrives. Let's go Force of Nature. Put you here. And there's all of our points, or at least our big points. And then Yrden, of course, to reset this row, which is certainly going to be their biggest. And Martyrdom, where do they use it? Probably on the Dracaturtle. Yep, that'll make it very big, but we're going to reset it. Okay, so Heatwave, we went relatively wide, so it's not too much of a problem, to tell you the truth. So now we Yrden, reset this, and then we can also just deal some damage as well. And that is absolutely enough for us to win. Alright, so going against Nilfgaard here. And we'll go first. And I want to get rid of our Wild Hunt Rider, because we have 2 of those. And other than that, I mean, a lot of Thrive. Not a lot of high units here, not a lot of tall units. So let's maybe get rid of some of our weaker ones. Yeah, Yghern definitely works well in that case. I think we can probably make this work. So why don't we lead off with our Wild Hunt Riders. Because we, of course, have dominance at the very beginning. Okay, well, if they're planning on unlocking stuff, then why not make 2 copies of whatever we're about to play? Okay, well, they're just gonna create copies of their own. Now, let's save our other Endrega Larva for a future round, so let's maybe go and jump up to the Phooca now. This is one that I kind of would like to give Veil, but of course, by doing the boosting with our tactic, makes it much harder to trigger that Thrive. Okay, let's see. So, still too early to go Beast, so let's go Katakan here, or maybe even Apiarian Phantom, to tell you the truth. Okay, so now they're going Brothans, and that probably means they'll go with another Duchess's Informant to create another round of Endrega Larva. Yep. Okay, and now let's go Katakan here. Just continue the Thrives going. Alright, they're going to lock the Katakan. Fine. We have enough units that have Thrive that shouldn't be much of an issue. And I think we use Yghern as our finisher here. And, of course, we're going to want to use our tactic on something. Let's make it... Yes, the Phooca. I mean, probably going to be the last card we play this round anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, now they're going to lock something. At this rate, shouldn't matter. In fact, it's actually good if they lock Yghern, unless they're going to follow up with the whole destroy a locked unit. But we have a large enough lead here that we're hoping that we still have this one. Yeah, it is exactly what it is. Panamar. Is that enough for them to overtake us with just that play? Not quite. Okay, so they need to go 2 cards down here if they want to win. And I think that's an exchange that we'll take. So yeah. They'll win round 1, but they do it going 2 cards down. So we should have card advantage for the rest of the game. Okay, and so we still have some of our small Thrive units. We made sure to keep some of those, so that's fine. And then you can be our finisher. I think we probably want to get rid of the Bruxa in that case. I mean, you're good, yes, but I'm not sure we have quite enough stuff to make that happen. Let's see, although, to tell you the truth, we probably could have used a throwaway card. Now that we have Old Speartip, we probably don't need you quite as much as we did before. So you'll be our throwaway. Obviously, it's not great when we're playing it by itself, but doesn't need to do much here. Okay, and I think I like this much better. We have our low Thrives and some medium Thrives, and now we have, I think, enough units out here that which Apprentice should still work. So let's stick with this. And let's start with you. Okay, Masquerade Ball. We should be wide enough that that shouldn't be a big issue. If they're looking to poison some things. So let's see. Next I think is probably the Phooca. I'm going to try to split our units a little bit here, because otherwise they're going to be pretty susceptible to Yrden. But, of course, we do want to make sure that we still reach Sabbath to get this Witch Apprentice going. Okay, and so now that the Thirsty Dame is up at 5, it does mean that the Beast is playable here. So that's definitely an option, although Werecat would be nice too. I think let's go Beast. I'm gonna try to make this melee row, I think, our Sabbath row. Alright, and well, that is not terribly surprising that they choose to steal a copy of the Beast. Alright, then they're gonna try to poison it as well. Let's see, I think we're looking at Werecat here, and there just aren't a lot of units, so unfortunately it's not great. I think we go for that, and then probably want to go with, there's the poison. They probably will be able to destroy one of these. Let's see, so Kudgra will be on Duchess Informant, right? Create a copy of probably the Endrega Larva. But I'm wondering, are we ready to go Witch Apprentice? Maybe if we combine it with Force of Nature in the melee row. Alternatively, we get more Thrive going. Maybe we take a little bit longer to go Thrive here. I think that's probably the answer, and then just look here. Now we're at 23, so yeah, if we play Witch Apprentice, then it certainly has enough in the melee row. Okay, so now you're going to lock Werecat, by the looks of things. Not really sure we had intentions of actually triggering that Death Wish, so it's fine. The bigger issue is potentially that poison. Yeah, so now what we do is let's go Witch Apprentice, but after they poison that unit, I think we do need to go with this in the melee row to actually reach Sabbath. Okay, and Hoakeen will give them another big unit here. We're probably just going to end up heat-waving whatever their biggest unit is, but we also want to bear in mind we can Yrden as well. Another round of poison. Wow, okay, so obviously going to need to get rid of that larva there. No! They must have even more poison in their hand right now. So, let's go with Old Speartip here. To trigger more Thrives. And now we're just trying to do some mental math to figure out which row is better to Yrden, which row is better to Heatwave something on. Okay, that's what it was. It was setting up Vincent. Okay. So, at first glance here, I think this is the better row to Yrden. And let's Heatwave... I tell you what, we probably should just Heatwave Masquerade Ball immediately. As long as what Heatwave is there for, right? Speaking of Heatwave. Alright, and then we have Yrden, and is this enough? It is, as it turns out. So we'll take the win. So there's a look at a very simple but very effective Thrive Monsters deck for the new Battle Rush seasonal event. If you liked the video, then make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and leave a comment down below to let me know which other cards, archetypes, and factions you'd like us to experiment with next. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.